Welcome to Sister Sessions, where two sisters on very different paths explore what it means to live spiritually in a modern world. My older sister is a spiritual leader with decades of experience guiding others toward inner peace. Me, I'm a mom of three, producing burlesque shows and embracing life's pleasures while searching for deeper meaning. Together, we share honest, relatable conversations about finding balance, purpose, and connection in everyday life. So settle in. You're right where you need to be. Welcome to Sister Sessions. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Susie.
Welcome back to Sister Sessions, everyone.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, I feel great today. I mean, I usually do feel pretty great, but I feel pretty great.
Yeah.
Holidays are fastly moving, and I'm staying at ease.
Good.
As much as I can.
You know, it's all in our perception.
For sure. I really am doing way better than I ever have. I really am. I think from, talking through it a bunch. And I mean, not to say that I'm a train wreck at Christmas, because I'm not. But however, I definitely have allowed the perception of what it's supposed to look like. More than anything in my life, this is the time of the year because, having kids and having family and hosting people, you just want everything to be so wonderful. And it's really not about that.
No.
I mean, it's about being wonderful, but I'm saying it's not about all of everything just being perfect.
That's an illusion and not real anyway. What is perfection, really?
Right. Yeah. So I was thinking today we could touch on a subject about living with regret and blame, and actually living without it is what I want to talk about.
Mhm.
Like how to talk to people about not living with regret and not choosing to blame others for where we are in our life at a certain point. I often hear people talking about, well, I am in this situation because of someone else. Or had I not listened to you, I would never be here right now. I wish that I had not, I regret taking advice from you. Things like that. Regret and blame, I feel like really do kind of go hand in hand in a sense, because you can say that I regret that I listened to you and I blame you for what happened to me. That kind of thing. I feel like that is a very easy pocket to settle into in life, and also can destroy us without us even realizing it. It takes away, I think that having regret and blame takes away from us. It sucks us dry. And I'd like to hear how you talk to people around that subject and what would be some good advice. Just what do you have to say in general about
Regret is one of the heaviest feelings, energies to carry. And one of the things that my teacher says is why we keep reincarnating is because we have longings and regrets. Those are the two things that keep drawing us back to having another experience in this material plane. And we know the good news is that we have infinite amount of time. There is no time. So we have infinity to have as many experiences as we want and all the experiences. However, living with regret is, yes, debilitating. It literally carries, it's a weight that you're carrying energetically that is dropping your vibrational frequency to a low place. And it is not healthy for many reasons. But the one thing that, when regret is in your life, when you have regrets, you are saying, I wish something was different. I wish it was different than it is. It should have been different. It should and could. And, all of that stuff where then you live in the past, and then living in the past takes you away from the moment now, the very present, which is really all that exists. So you're living outside of your present moment, and you're feeling this heaviness. So that energy of regret is wasted energy, and it potentially stops you from having better and other experiences because that is blocking some of your divine flow. And regret also is pointless because you can't change, right? You cannot change the past. And you have to realize that whatever happened was exactly what needed to happen for you to be where you are right now. And so the only thing that happens, the only thing that really matters is that who you are at the other side of that experience. Not what happened, why it happened, how it happened, really doesn't matter. What matters is who are you on the other side? Are you more expansive? Have you learned? Have you grown from that experience? Or have you shrunken? Have you gone into more fear, more anger, regret?
Oh, yeah.
Are you there? Because that is our free will.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what free will is a choice on how you're going to deal and handle the situation. Are you going to see this from a place of love or fear? Those two are like the ends of the spectrum. Am I in love or am I in fear? Am I in contraction or am I in expansion? Ask yourself that question. And then we know, if we just ask, we can tell, we can sense, oh, I'm totally in fear right now. Okay, working with that is important, but that's a whole other thing. The thing about regret is that it's blocking you from living in your highest potential. It's
Right.
blocking you from so many things that you aren't even aware of.
Right. And that's why I think that the subject is so important to touch on. And I really feel like blame is hand in hand with regret because a lot of people will, blame their parents. Well, my parents never taught me this. And I feel like letting go of blame and regret is so freeing and so healthy that is why I feel like it's really important to have the conversation about it and to hear the ways in which you can teach people. I mean, you talk to a lot of people, obviously, all the time. So would you say that if asked the question, do you have any regrets? Would you say majority of people would jump to absolutely, or I have no regrets?
Honestly, most people that I speak with, because I talk with people typically for a good chunk of time, for a long period of time, and I work with people for a long period of time, and they would say no, they don't have regrets.
Excellent.
And those that do, work with and move through that. But no, I think a lot of people are realizing that it's pointless. At least in my circle of my world, I know that a lot of people don't let go of things easily and want to blame themselves or other people for things. And yes, blame is a part of regret because you're blaming somebody,
Right.
whether it's yourself or someone else, and that it should have been different. And here's the thing, it was what it was. And, one of my favorite teachers, Naya Swami Asha, very strong connection with her, she says the most beautiful saying, seemed like a good idea at the time.
Right.
Like when I did that thing, it seemed like a good idea at the time. And now I look back and maybe it wasn't such a great idea, but it happened. And here's the thing, what did I learn from it? What did I get out of it? How did I grow from it? And how can I still grow from it, even if I didn't? And even if I've been carrying this blame and regret for decades, it's not too late to let go. Drop the energy and say, thank you, but no thank you. I appreciate that you were trying to protect me, and hold on to this because you thought that you deserved to be put down, but you don't. You are a being of divine love and light. You are a part of this whole universe and all that is, and nobody's blaming you. Nobody's shaming you. Nobody's judging you but yourself.
Yeah. I think it's all just from what I went through learning, because I'm 100% a student, and it's all so much more simple. It's so much more simple than people try to make it. It's so much more simple. The ideas of all is well and everything is okay. And those are very simple statements. There's a lot behind them, of course, but very simple statements that I feel like have such power behind them. You know what I mean? But the message itself is so simple, but there's a lot of power behind it. You know, it's like if there's no big secret statement. It's all is well. It's everything is okay. They're a simplified version with the power behind it.
Yes, it is simple. However, it is not easy because when we build up
No,
so
that's what I'm saying. There's so much power behind it. It's not easy. That's what makes it sound, yes, it's not easy. But the statements themselves, the ideas are so simple.
sure.
There's no, crazy hidden magical thing that people don't know. It's like, this is it. It's just about doing the work.
Right. And that's what is the challenge because
Right.
what is the work? What are you actually doing to get rid of that, right? It all starts with the thought patterns that we have because thoughts create our reality. We put out we have and thoughts are they're energy patterns like every single thing. There's nothing that isn't energy. It's just pure frequency and movement of energy. So if you're engaging in a negative thought pattern that I should have and why didn't I and I, whatever the statement is, and that you're fueling that, so you're giving more power to that energy. You're actually growing it by thinking about it, by giving it, you're feeding it. So anything that you feed grows. Where your energy goes, your consciousness flows. So if you're in a place where you're regretting, even not consciously, but you have these regrets and you don't even think about them consciously, it is informing your life. 100%, it is informing your life, whether you're aware of it or not.
Yeah.
People aren't aware of it, and they think, yeah, that happened, and I regret it, but I don't think about it. Yeah, but it affects you.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this subject came up for me today because it's simple to say, I'm talking about myself. It's simple to look like if you're telling somebody a story about your past, and then it's so easy to slip and say, well, I should have never done that. Well, I should have finished college. I should have, you know what I mean? Like it's so easy to slip and say those things instead of saying, I didn't do this, instead I did this that way. So it's easy, it's watching your words because as you've taught me, your words are everything, everything. So I think I have had a couple of moments recently where I found myself saying, like, oh, I should have. And then I'm like, no, 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 that's not what I meant. I meant I didn't.
Right. Right. No, yeah, for sure. The shoulds are really heavy.
Mhm.
It shoulds. That word, no. It
Right.
is all and the other part of this is failure. Like a lot of people like to think, well, I failed at this. I didn't complete this or that, or I failed. I just don't like that word. I actually don't agree with that word. I don't believe there's failure. I believe there's experience.
Lessons too. I mean, every failure is a lesson for sure. Yeah.
It can be. Every actually experience in life can be a lesson
Mhm.
because that's what this is all about. This is a game of expansion. Really, we're here to expand our awareness. We are here to grow our consciousness to learn what is blocking us, to remove the blocks, the karma that's in our consciousness, so that we can receive the full light that we are, and we
Mhm.
can live in that full light without the dark shadows in our consciousness. That's the real game here. So regretting anything it's pointless and it's debilitating, and you have not failed. You have not failed in life. And I'm talking to anybody out there. If you have, you know, done what we would consider bad, like bad things, right? I didn't finish college, or I didn't graduate high school, or I didn't raise my kids well, or I abandoned my family, or I XYZ fill in the blank. You must let go and forgive yourself, and not even it's more than forgiveness, it's acceptance of what is or was.
Mhm.
That happened.
Mhm.
Who am I on the other side of what happened? That's all that matters, not what happened. Because no one truly cares about what happened.
No,
Honestly,
yeah.
even the ones that were in the middle of what happened, it doesn't matter. What matters is, who are you on the other side of this? What did you learn from that experience? And so you learn, you look at it, you learn my 3 L's. You look at it, you learn, and you let go. Crucial. Let it
Look
go.
at it, learn, let go. Look at it, learn, let go.
And don't go back.
No.
Unless it's some other thing that you know you can learn from. Or you can share your experience and help somebody else. But do not live in the past or the future, right? It's the project is here in the moment. Living fully present in the moment. There's nothing else. This other spiritual teacher I listen to sometimes, his name is RJ Spina, just for y'all, if you know, I'm giving him credit. I really liked it. I like it. He says, just, when you start to want to be, somewhere else in the past or the future, just drop it all and say, what if I just am right here? I just arrived on this planet right here and now. I just arrived right now. There's no past. There's no future. There's just now. Not easy necessarily to do, but what if you could just practice that? Like, I just arrived right now. There's nothing. And then choose what is right for you in the next right step. What do you want to create? We are powerful manifestors.
Yes.
Co-creators with this universe, with all this energy. We need to take our power back. We need to empower ourselves to say, I actually have a choice. And yes, within that manifestation, we do have karma. So it's not like this, I wish it to be done and so it is. We're not, that's not so simple. There's layers of this. And so people can get really frustrated. Like, I put out all this, good stuff and I didn't get it back. And, I'm a good person. Why are bad things happening to me? No. And that's the shallow thinking that this is it. Like, we're only looking at this life is the problem, because maybe in this life, yeah, you were great in all kinds of ways. You have no idea what you've just been doing before this life. This is not our only life. We've been reincarnated probably thousands and thousands and thousands of times in all different ways. We are divine creatures. We're not human. We're just having a human experience, but we're not human. That's it. This is just a quick trip on this earth. And maybe, we come back to this planet many, 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 many times, and maybe we go to other planets. Because we do. Let's be real, people.
You just said a slap across the face to everyone listening. Go, wake up.
I mean, I really want people to wake up. Stop acting like this is it. You don't just have one life. You have infinite lives. That's what's so great about it. It's not like, if I don't get this right. No, the thing is, and this is where going back to reincarnation and the regret and longings, right? The thing is, we go to this astral plane of existence when we leave this physical earth and we go to the energetic space. We crave certain experiences, and our soul wants to come back into a life, because it's the longings and regrets, right? It's like, well, I want to do this again. I want to try again. I want to marry a different person. I want to have 20 kids instead of one, or, whatever it is. And so we get to have another experience. And the thing that I always hear my favorite teachers say, because I all the information and all the knowledge I have and all the understanding comes from these high beings, souls that I've been studying with for a long time. And they say, we have this like draw to experience something else. And so we do. And it's like, it almost works. And so we want to do it again. But it didn't just quite work out right. So I want to do it again and do it again. Until, as it says in the Bhagavad Gita, this ancient famous text in India, until the anguishing monotony sets in. And your soul wakes up to like, do this again? Do I have to do this again? I've done this already. Like, when you ever feel like, haven't I done this already? Because you have.
Right.
Numerous times. And when you're ready to turn your attention to exiting this cycle, then things start to shift, right? But until then, you're just having a grand old time doing, or not, suffering a lot,
Right.
Flying out in the world and thinking you got it all under control and you can figure it all out until you can't and you don't, and then you have regrets.
No. No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Honestly, no matter what you have done in your life, I don't care how bad, you really have to look at it and say, I thought it was a good idea at the time, and I did my best, and my best looked like that, and that's okay. And it's not to say, like, don't try, and who cares if you
Right, because tomorrow I'll just say, no regrets. No.
and I'm gonna act like no, because there is the consequence of things is real, which is karma. And it's only your consequence where you have to experience something different to say, oh, that wasn't the right thing. That wasn't, putting out all this negative energy, this heavy energy by, say, being really mean to people. You're just an angry person and you're just spewing mean and hatred out to others, right? There are people who feel that because that's what's going on in their consciousness. We are we are mirrors. We are like in a hall of mirrors, and everything is reflecting back to us. So what we are inside is what we project out and what we receive back. So if you change your consciousness, you literally are going to change your whole life. You're going to change what's being projected out because you've changed. But I feel like there was another point there that I was making, that was one of them, but there was maybe something else.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But everything you're saying is exactly what I want everyone to hear and learn, because I think it's an easy thing to not even realize is holding us back from growth. Bringing it up and talking about it and, helping people not move forward with regret and blame is a gift. It is. It's a gift, because maybe a lot of people listening are like, wow, I didn't realize that. And I do that. I regret so many things in my life, and I blame, my ex-husband for this, and I blame my kids for that. And now they can think about it and grow, maybe get a little freedom, lift a weight they didn't even know that they had, lift it off their shoulders and work on it. Like, not saying the things that I said earlier. Well, I should have. No, 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 no should haves. You didn't. You didn't. Yeah.
And it's all okay. That self-love and self-acceptance is crucial. Nobody judges us the way we judge ourselves. And when we're judging ourselves, we're really judging other people, because it's all this interconnection. You hating on yourself or saying mean things to yourself, you're saying mean things to the collective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's affecting everyone
Mm-hmm.
on the deepest level. And this is, a lot of what we don't understand, because we think we're all, it's just about us. And it's just in my own little mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anybody else. Yes, it does.
Right.
This is what we need to know and understand, that we affect the whole. I mean, if you think about anything that is like a pizza pie, a pizza that, okay, it's whole and complete. There's everything on, there's nothing, no piece missing. And then, it's all good. And then you throw some pepperoni on there, and a lot of people don't like, and people don't like pepperoni, and it's all over. The whole pepperoni is affecting everything on the pizza. I mean, that's not
Really mad at the pepperoni.
the pepperoni is affecting everyone. It's hard. It's an analogy that doesn't really work that well with this, but you know where I'm getting at.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think, oh yeah, that just, for some reason, now that's making me think about self-love and loving yourself first, because that affects everyone. Everyone. I tell that to my kids all the time. You've got to love yourself first. First. If you want people to love you, you have to love yourself, and then others will love you back.
It's one of the most important things that anybody could ever do or bring in is self-love. And if you don't have self-love, please work on it, because it absolutely ripples out. And you can't really love fully someone else without loving yourself first. It's just impossible. And that all of this.
Yes, Jenny. Jenny and I and my daughter have matching tattoos, and this symbolizes self-love.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. It's really powerful when you start to really, truly love yourself and know yourself. because all of the wisdom, all of the universe actually resides within you.
Mm-hmm.
And we are such divine beings that need to wake up to that reality and stop identifying so strongly with the physical body and this material world, and stop obsessing about it. Like, let's stop obsessing about how we look, how our house is. I mean, yes, take care of yourself, but why are we obsessing over it? There's a balance here that is missing. It's been so focused on materiality and looks and the aesthetics of things and making everything just so then I'll be just so.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
That is impossible, because what you're trying to do is like kind of still everything around you, still the waters, make everything perfect. Then I could be okay.
And that goes back to one of the conversations we had in a previous episode with fighting against things, fighting against, growing old. Our society, I mean, let's be real, for women specifically, it's starting to trickle into men more than it ever has. But for women, growing old and the wall that we hit to try to stop it from happening, no one's ever stopped it from happening. You will look like you tried to stop it from happening, but you didn't stop it from happening.
He knows you tried because you look like you tried. Like, you're not fooling anybody.
So, and gosh, what a subject. What a subject. And no judgment surrounding the subject. No judgment surrounding the subject whatsoever, because we have been forced especially in this country, and pushed from, social media and from advertising and products of fighting. Our sister-in-law has a skincare line called Happy Plant Botanicals. It's unbelievable. And she doesn't do anti-aging. She puts an X across that word, anti-aging. She calls it, oh my goodness, healthy aging, or it's something very beautiful, like healthy aging, growing gracefully, something in that. Sorry, Jen, I can't remember what it is, but something on that aspect. And I love that. I love that. I mean, because anti-aging, it doesn't, you're fighting something that you will never win the battle. I'm not saying, like you said, not to take care of yourself, but then there's this society of just putting this force on women specifically to try their best to fight that.
Yeah, it's body image and the whole body aspect of for women is the reason why I went to graduate school, to become, a counselor, a therapist, in that way of, seeing women suffering so much. And I did as well, suffered in my 20s and early 30s of like feeling like I have to, be such a great, have such a great body and take care of myself in the way that was extreme. It was extreme and it wasn't healthy. It was an obsession, and it was debilitating. It was heavy. Never enough, never good enough. And this is, I saw it in so many women and men that I worked with, but of course in women it's more prevalent. And the suffering, the emotional suffering and the mental suffering of trying to reach this potential, this place that is so almost, it's ridiculously unattainable. And for what end? To what end? How is that actually serving us? What does that actually mean? What are you going to achieve if you could reach that? What does that mean? How would that change your life? It's been such a heaviness in our culture specifically. And we're talking, the United States. And I really know that it is shifting, as we can see. There's been a massive movement over the past 2 decades of this body positivity and this acceptance of who you are, and having models have unique shapes and forms, and not just this stick figure being, whatever, a certain standard. And it's been so beautiful. And I can see in the younger generations that eating disorders isn't as prevalent. It's still there, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think it has shrunk a little bit. And I don't know the statistics on that. And I would love to actually know that. I really need to look that up, because I am hopeful that it's shifting in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you have had that in your life, just going back to that, even if you were that, no regrets around it.
No.
Either.
Yeah.
You know, like I know I learned a whole lot about myself being in that space when I was younger. And having the beautiful acceptance of myself on this side, it's like all the wrinkles and all the gray, like total natural hair. No, I do wear makeup sometimes, you know, but it's just so great to like fully love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage everyone, like, just love yourself. Embrace your uniqueness, because no one on the planet looks like you. Even if you have an identical twin, you still look different than that person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, gosh, what a magic this is. Billions of people on this planet, billions of humans, and no two look alike. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and people think there's no God, there's no greater source. I mean, come on.
We're going to wake everyone up today. If it's Jeff's mission, just right here in this one episode. She's going to splash water on the computer.
I could only. We do not suffer. We do not.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, I don't want to go too down the rabbit hole with that whole thing about women, and
yeah,
it's a touchy subject. You know, it's beautiful to see in other cultures older women growing older naturally and being in joy about it and loving themselves. And I think that is so big. You know, it's a message for the younger people in their culture. You not seeing women growing older and doing the extreme things to not look natural in the way that they do. And again, this is a touchy subject. I don't want to be offensive, because who knows, you know, no judgments. I just look at other cultures and I see women growing older and being very happy and loving who they are, and you don't hear them say things that aren't kind about each other, about themselves. And this is coming up for me because, truthfully, this past Sunday, I did meet a lovely, beautiful woman in her 60s. And she's told me that she can't even look in the mirror. And I was shocked. And I just met her. And she was like, I can't even look at myself in the mirror. And she was very kind and not thinking she was saying anything to me that was not positive. But she was like, I can't even look at myself in the mirror. All I see is wrinkles. I don't ever do it when I pass the mirror. I just keep walking. I look terrible. Wait till you get in your 60s. And I'm thinking to myself, she says, kind and lovely as she was, what a terrible message to send a younger person. I mean, I'm not that much younger, but I am younger, right? And that's it's such an unhealthy message, and I felt bad for her, as I know she didn't mean to send that message, but it just made me think about that, you know, like, God, I looked at her, I thought she and I told her, I said, you're beautiful, you know, and to think that she thinks that of herself, I was sad. And I would like that to shift. I would love to hear older women talk to us in a different voice. I want to talk to younger women in a different voice. And, you know, I love, just so you know, telling younger people, my kids will make jokes that I'm old because I'll be 50 in 2 years. And it's like, I love that. It's been wonderful. And I've only gotten better. And again, I don't mean that I've gotten better because I'm richer and, you know, material things. I'm getting better inside and growing, and because I want to expand. And that's why we have these conversations, you and I. I would love to see the conversations with older women to younger women of any age, 30 to 15 and 60 to 40, be healthier. Yeah.
Yes, aging gracefully, and, you know, the wisdom that we gain as we age, hopefully. Wisdom doesn't come with just age. Wisdom comes with expansion of consciousness and actually working towards that. That requires effort. And aging, yes, to see that beauty in all the wrinkles and we're not promoting anything. Do whatever feels good to you. I mean,
Absolutely.
all the things you want to do, right? Just do whatever feels good to you. I just encourage you to really think about your why. Why are you doing it? Just think about that and make your own choice. But know that when we accept ourselves for who and what we truly are, which is not this body, not this face, not this hair, not any of it, when we really see ourselves as divine beings, all this stuff falls away. It's not important. You're fighting against something that is inevitable and is so fleeting. I mean, what do we have this body for? Maybe 90 years if we're blessed. I mean, now some people live to 100 if you're really blessed, or not even, I don't know if the word's blessed. It's where, if that's what your karma is, right? If that's what your soul plan is, to live until you're 100. But then this body's gone. It goes back into the earth. It's dust. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, and I know, I get it. I mean, I'm aging. I see new wrinkles. I see, my hair's thinning, and I'm like, okay, am I going to be attached to this? Is this going to define me? Because if this defines me, we're in trouble. I don't want to be defined by my body or my face or my hair. I want to be defined by my spirit. How do you feel around me?
Right.
That's the question. And that's what everybody remembers. They might remember a little bit on how you look or whatever, but they're going to remember how they feel around you.
Absolutely. Because I mean, I've been around some of the most beautiful people.
Yeah.
And I don't see the beauty. The beauty fades. The beauty completely is erased from the whole eyesight
Yeah.
because of how I feel. And just like you said, of how you feel. It's absolutely, absolutely true. And like you said, it's not touchy. It's a tough one in a sense with women because, I mean, for me, I love makeup. I love getting my hair done. I love pretty clothes and all that stuff. And I've always told I've always told Layla that those are the cherries on top of, that's just fun on top of the cake. It's extra sprinkles of fun. What matters is what's inside the cake. What does it taste like? Not the cherry that you threw on top, the star you put on top of no, that's a cute little bag you have and nobody cares about that. It's the
ingredients.
Yeah, those things are fun. They are not necessary.
Right.
They're just extra little things in life that are fun to play with and have, if you're into that. But that's not what matters at all.
Yeah, not at all.
No.
Yeah, it's interesting we got here from regret and blame.
Well, I think it makes sense to take the turn because, you were talking about how regret and blame, how they make you feel. And they make you feel bad and they make you feel heavy and lightening the load of not having that and holding on to that. And that's a part of self-love. And that's where we kind of put into that. Self-love is paying attention to the words that you're using. Like I was saying, not saying, well, I should have. And especially, saying that to other people, you should have been here you should have. Yeek. No.
Take that word out of your vocabulary.
Right.
Catch yourself, like play a game, like notice, ooh, how many times did you say should today? And maybe you don't say it at all. Maybe you say it a lot, but pay attention because words absolutely matter. They are energy patterns. We need to be very aware in just a conscious place. This isn't the way to growth is to pay attention to yourself. The way to grow is to notice, how am I showing up for myself and others? Where are my thoughts and my emotions and my behaviors? Are they healthy? Are they kind? Are they loving? Are they mean? Am I speaking meanly to myself? Saying I'm a bad person, or, oh, I should have done. People live in that space. They live in beating themselves up.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop doing that. Just love yourself. And if you're on that far end where you are really kind of, a bully to yourself, stop and really take stock. What are you doing? Really talk yourself through this and get some support, because you don't have to live this way. You do not need to suffer. You do not need to be in that space. And I know it can be such a habitual pattern, and it can be really hard to unwind that and change that pattern. It takes effort, but I promise you that effort is worth it, because you are changing your consciousness and therefore changing your life by changing your thoughts. Hands down.
No regret, no blame, no should, self-love. Let's go. Let's go.
Amen. And so it is.
And so it is. Give it to them, Jenny. Tell them, wake up.
Wake up, people.
Well, I love you so much. We
Love
are
you.
out of time for today. And leave us with it, Jenny.
All is well.